Hello, so a couple of nights ago I watched the Grammys. I watched the pre-show Grammys and then I watched, I didn't really watch much of the later show because that's not really quite as much interest to me, although I was interested in one artist in particular. So this is not a blow-by-blow account of who won and who lost, but I will go through some of my favourites. My teacher used to say to me that music's not a sport, and I kind of agree with that. I think it's really difficult to compare one artist against another when we all imagine this unique, amazing music. So I think I take the Grammys with a pinch of salt. But what I do like is the fact that it shows me artists I'm not familiar with from all different kind of genres. And I find that very rewarding. So let me talk. So like a few years ago, there was a singer called Samara Joy, and she won one of the jazz categories. I forget, maybe album of the year, the jazz album. And she's amazing. I'd never heard of her. So if you haven't, I would have a listen to Samara Joy. If you love Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday, just a brilliant, brilliant singer. So let's go through a few other things. What else was of interest? Oh, in the jazz album of the year, it was Chick Corea and Bella Fleck. Bella Fleck is just this phenomenal banjo player. It's unbelievable. He just brought an album out playing Rhapsody in Blue on banjo. And him and Chick have worked together for years and years and years. I used to have a DVD. I think it was Chick's 60th birthday where him and Bella Fleck are playing together. So this album is actually wonderful. Sadly, Chick Corea passed a number of years ago, but one of the giants of jazz piano. What else can we think about? Oh, also in the jazz category, we had Kurt Elling and Sullivan Faulkner. Sullivan Faulkner is an amazing piano player. I think he won an award as well this year with Samara Joy for one of their tracks. So if you haven't heard of Sullivan Faulkner, please go check him out. I was fortunate to see him in my local town last year. He is one amazing cat. He's an amazing pianist, so I really check him out. So also he was with Kurt Elling, who's one of my favourite jazz singers, period. One of my favourite singers, actually. If you've not heard Kurt Elling, you're in for a treat. I would go check out some of Kurt's music. He's done 2 albums called Wildflowers. The first one is with Sullivan Faulkner, and I would go have a listen to that. It's amazing. The second one with Joey Calderazzo, often plays with Branford Marsalis. That's also brilliant. And Joey and Sullivan are so different piano players, but it's so improvised based. It's wonderful. I really go check that out. What else should we talk about that I found interesting? There was a lovely tribute to Quincy Jones featuring Herbie Hancock and the lady Cynthia, who's the singer in Wicked. That was really good performance. Probably can watch that on YouTube if you haven't. So in the classical awards, I think it might be called the Solo Instrumental Awards. I'll probably pronounce his name wrong, but I have a number of his records, so I shouldn't really. But he's from Iceland, and he's called Vikungar Olafsson. He's done some recordings of Glass and Bach, and his recent recording, and I think he's played these Goldberg variations of 100 times last year, won the Grammy for the solo recording. And I kind of cheered out when I heard that because he's such a brilliant pianist. The Goldberg, if you don't know, is this amazing, amazing piece. Plays it better than me, but I would really listen to that. What else? The country album. So Beyonce won country album of the year. Have a listen. Chris Stapleton was in there, and Casey Musgraves. I tell you what, why don't you compare it yourself? Beyonce's country album, Chris Stapleton's album, and Casey Musgraves. Have a listen to them all and see if you think which one's country. Because Casey Musgrave, my wife's a fan, so we get a lot of that in this house, and she's brilliant. It's a great album. And Chris Stapleton, my wife's a fan of him as well. Fabulous album. And finally, album of the year. The reason I was interested is because I love the work and music of Jacob Collier, as do many people who are in the family of the Grammys. You know, because if you win a Grammy, you get to vote, and producers vote. So it's kind of you're voted to by your peers. So to see Jacob even in the nominations alongside of Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Ultimately, Beyonce won Album of the Year, whether you think that's a good or not. Taylor Swift was there as well. I mean, the thing about Taylor Swift is, what is it, the tortured poet? You know, Taylor has everybody's ears, so she could really do something interesting, which would be really amazing if she did. As Miles Davis used to say, you know, every 5 years you move on. I don't play that music. That's old music. I don't play that anymore. So I was hoping Jacob might win, but he didn't. But he did win the award for like an a cappella vocal arrangement for Bridge Over Troubled Water, which is with Tori Kelly and John Legend, which is amazing. If you haven't heard that, you should go check that out as well. So he didn't win Album of the Year, didn't Jacob? But I didn't think he would. I think Beyonce's time, she hasn't won for a while. As I say, I take the Grammys with a complete pinch of salt. What it is for me is it does show me different kind of artists, from heavy metal to soundtrack music to spoken word. So it's quite interesting on that fact. So I enjoy watching it, but I also don't, if you see what I mean. Anyway, let me know if you've got any favourite albums that you've been picking out, and do go ahead. And I've done this, the only reason I've done this is so that you can maybe go check out some of this music that you might find really beautiful and life-changing. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more videos like this, and bye for now.